I used to be the tears accompanying the pain of heartbreak, doubt.
Hello everyone, my name is Vernisa.
Hey y'all, this is Jen.
And this is our podcast.
Speak up.
What's up, Jen?
Hey girl.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, glad that we made it to episode 30.
Can you believe it? We did. This thing's older than we are.
Yeah, time is just flying. For those of you that don't know, me and Jen are best friends, and we created this podcast to use our voices to motivate people to overcome life challenges through self-love and respect.
That's right. By now, you guys should know that self-love and respect are absolutely important to us.
Yes, much needed in today's world, especially.
Seriously.
So today, our title is "Don't Drink the Haterade."
Ooh.
I think I like that. Honestly, there's a lot of haters, a lot of hate in the world, and honestly, we want to teach and talk about today, transmuting that into love.
That's right. Much like Bernice just said, there's a lot of haterism, as we call it, out there. It can be from anybody in your life or not even in your life directly. So we felt it was important to talk about this today.
And honestly, hate and jealousy, envy, all that go hand in hand. So, Jen, what is hate to you? Jealousy, envy? Like, how would you define that?
An ugly feeling, honestly. No, but I would define it as like, when someone doesn't have your best interest in mind. When they don't want to see you succeed, they don't want to see you live in your purpose. They just don't want to see, or maybe they do, but because you believe in yourself more than they would believe in themselves, they envy that. They don't like the fact that you're willing to go all the way for yourself because they wouldn't do it.
That's a great definition. Honestly, I think jealousy, it involves admiration, but like in the negative lens is that, the person admires you so much that they don't know what to do with themselves because they honestly don't see that light in themselves to accomplish whatever you're accomplishing. So therefore, that backlash comes of where they want to walk around mad at you the whole time, and then just saying things about you, making up scenarios about you just to feel better about themselves, and honestly trying to discourage you from reaching a higher goal than what you're already reaching.
No, that's true. I mean, there's that thing that says like people want to see you do well but never better than them. And I feel like that can apply to a lot of people actually. And I feel like it can be changed though. Like you said, it can be changed into inspiration or admiration. And that's where jealousy really does come from to begin with. But I feel like it becomes ugly when either you start comparing yourself to this person or you really just don't care about their genuine interests. You're just like, oh, well, look at them. They think they're doing this and that. So, I think that's when it starts to become a problem, really.
That is so true. And honestly, I think a lot of it too derives from your childhood. There's people that, they didn't see a certain amount of love growing up. They weren't complimented growing up. Whenever they were trying to do something great, hate came their way. So I think sometimes like that subconsciously could follow a person and they can end up growing up being exactly like that. So like you said, it can be changed. So it's like as more as you grow up and learn yourself, that's when that process of that change can come. But you have to be able to sit with yourself and realize, okay, these are bad emotions that I'm feeling towards a person. How can I work on that?
Yeah, no, that's true. I feel like a lot of people grow up thinking the world owes them something. They feel like they should be spoiled, maybe because their parents spoiled them or something. There's nothing wrong with getting spoiled as a child, that's fine. But I feel like when you don't learn how to be humble, you will be humbled by life, especially when you start being jealous of what somebody else has or whatever. And then it's like you start thinking, oh, well, how could they have this? I came from this type of background. I should have more, blah, blah, blah. No, life doesn't owe you anything. At the end of the day, it's about how hard are you working for that dream. You don't know what this other person is doing in the background that we don't see. Much like what goes on with this podcast also, like there's a lot of things that aren't shown in front of the camera.
And a lot of times people really do show you what they want to show. So if you sit there just watching what they have on the surface, of course, you're going to be sitting there feeling some type of way. But it's like work on your own inner work, your own book. And then you can showcase what you want to show to the world.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. And honestly, I don't know why people hate when, like, being a hater just stunts your growth. Like, it doesn't get you anything. Like, really saying, oh, I should have been this, or, why are they doing this? What is that doing for you? Like, you're not actively working on something that's making you happy about your life. You're not working on any type of passions or anything. So at the end of the day, you're just getting stuck because you're so busy looking at everything outside of you that you're not working on what's going on in here.
And meanwhile, that person that you hating on, they working on
Amen.
their stuff the whole time, and they're just going up, while you still exactly where you are, going lower and lower. Honestly, what you put out in the world comes back at you. So if that's what you put out in the world, hate and stuff, when you trying to do something, that's all that you're gonna attract in the process of it. Sometimes people too, they'll just envy you for like how much love people show you.
That's true.
And all that stuff. But it's like those people who have the most success and things like that, a lot of the people, they treat people good, they practice gratitude, they give back, and things like that. So of course, like when they're doing something, they have a big event coming, or they started their own business, they're gonna get that much love thrown at them without even trying.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like some people just have ugly spirits in general. It's sad to say, but I think it's very true. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying, that I've never compared myself to anybody, but like I've never done it to the point where I want to be somebody else, like I'm happy with my journey. I'm happy with my own struggles. And if I see somebody winning, like that's just motivation for me to keep going. It's like, look, they didn't give up on their dream. Why should I give up on my own? It's never about, oh, well, I should have done this, I should have done that because they did it. No, it's more so like, okay, what can I do better next time because I'm learning from my own mistakes in the past.
And honestly, referencing what you said about the ugly spirits, there's help for that. I feel like you just have to be willing to heal and willing to grow through whatever it is, because there's obviously a root to that problem that's causing you to just outlast that. We've all had our ugly days, ugly moments, days we felt anger, days we felt a little bit of hate, whatever you want to call it, but it was a root, something that caused it. And you're never going to get past that till you face that in the mirror and deal with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too also, like if you just are constantly worried about everything outside of you, oh, it's them, they're always out to get me and blah 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 and all this, you're not doing any of that inner work, and you're kind of just creating this aura with you where it's like you're not elevating anywhere, you're just staying stuck where you're at, and then you're just, I don't know, you're just not growing. I feel like as a hater you can't grow, if you're just constantly jealous of other people, you're just constantly watching somebody else.
Honestly, that spirit of hate and jealousy, it can end relationships in your life, because after a while, a person could pick up and feel that negative energy and just not even want nothing to do with you anymore. And I feel like a lot of those relationships, a lot of people stay not cool with each other because that other person refused to acknowledge that and take accountability. Instead, they just want to place the blame on the other person, when it's like, no, look at your wounds, fix it, and maybe it could have worked out, or it could, but I feel like a lot of people don't want to admit to their mistakes, don't want to admit to the times that they've hurt a person or that they made someone feel a certain way. And you have to do that, especially if you want to make something work with somebody.
And I know there's a lot of people who like make up stories about you based on what they knew about you, or what they think they knew about you. People will always keep your name in their mouths, and I feel like what matters is that how you carry yourself when that happens. Like your reputation is always going to speak for you, no matter what people say about your name. At the end of the day, like if you have more people who love you than people who hate you, hey, obviously you're doing something right. But at the end of the day too, like people are just going to make up a scenario in their head. You know how that post says like, it's okay if you're the villain in someone's story, like that's how their perception of you is. And maybe I am the villain in somebody's story, and that's cool too. But at the end of the day, like I know I'm trying my best to be the better person every single day. I'm not perfect by any means, but I'm also growing every single day. So if you knew me like a few years ago, I'm not that same person anymore.
Because you decided to grow. And going back to the spirit thing, your positive spirit speaks for itself. So like I feel like there's no need to prove yourself when that happens. Like I got people I don't talk to no more. Yeah, there's people out there like shoot exes, whatever, bashing my name, whatever. But today, if my name Vernisa comes up, I know who I am. I know how genuine I am to people, so I don't have to worry about what such and such said or whatever. And I feel like for those of you out there who, whatever, had a bad fallout with somebody, if you know you was true to yourself, true to that person, and then you ain't even gotta worry. Don't even stress what they out there doing, because sometimes hurt people. So when they see that you done moved on, you let them go, they'll do anything that they can in their power to try to pull you down or get a reaction out you just to get you to call them up. Oh, I heard you was talking about me. No, you ain't gotta do all that. Just keep pushing, keep grinding, keep elevating.
Amen.
And the day they gonna feel stupid because sometimes that no reaction shit is the best reaction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Silence is an answer too. And honestly, like when you practice haterism or jealousy or whatever, it leads to depression. So these people are miserable and they're just trying to drag you into that misery as well. That's why they keep your name in their mouth. You know, that's why they're wishing you fail or anything, because they're already down here and you've already elevated up here. So they want you to go low with them. And I don't think we should fall into it. You know, if you've already leveled up to a certain amount and then it's like you engage with somebody who's vibrating lower than you because, you know, you want to clear your name or whatever, what's that going to get you? At the end of the day, like you said, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. Your name speaks for you. So, you know, I'm going to let anybody say what they want to say. At the end of the day, I know what I'm doing. I know the people who love me know what I'm doing, and that's what matters at the end of the day.
That's true. You actually put your hand in the fire where you try to dig in the fire to reach them again to fix whatever it is, or, you know, you said prove yourself, whatever. Going off the depression thing, I feel like jealousy creates a bigger negative cloud than what you're already in, because you're already in your own negative cloud. Then when you being jealous, you know how much energy and negative energy that takes to try to shade somebody else's. So in the day, you're just adding to it. You get lower and lower, and then guess what? You finna get madder and madder because that person's gonna keep elevating doing what they do. So in the day, we need to just stop. You know, take a look at yourself and fix it.
No, I completely agree with that. I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but haterism shows in your face. Like any type of expression you make, that energy, like you said, you know, that you carry is so negative with you that people can feel it. You know, you don't even have to say anything. We've talked about this before. How loud is your energy? Where like the energy you carry with you is the loudest thing in the room. It speaks for you before you even talk verbally. So it's the same thing when you carry that haterism. Like, you know, when you're just hating on everything in life or everybody who's in your life, people are gonna notice. Like, you know, I was telling you this example yesterday when I went to the gym. Like, I saw this girl, she dogged the hell out of me, you know, and for whatever reason, I don't care what it was, but I had to pass by her to get to the sauna, so I could just feel her looking at me. And I remember before entering that sauna, it's like a reflective glass door, so I could see her reflection, and I already walked past her. And I saw in the reflection of the door that she was just looking at me. Like, she turned back around to look at me and she was dogging me. And I was like, okay, at the end of the day, you mad for some reason, you know, because I actually went to the gym and, you know, have found peace there. But yeah, like, you know, I could feel her haterism.
Honestly, them face expressions don't lie. I feel like people think like they're hiding it, you know, they're keeping it composed, but no, I could catch on to them eye looks and all that. You never just be walking past somebody in the mall, they just dog you. Like, okay, whatever, you think my shoes cute, whatever, or you think my shoes ain't cute, keep that shit to yourself. That fucking face expression shit. Like, I don't know where, you know, there's nothing cute about that. Like, honestly, I love when a woman could see another woman in the mall and it's like, oh, you know, your hair is cute, oh, you're really pretty. Like, it's way more good energy with that. And I feel like you attract more of that good energy when you walk around with that good energy. You get people to, you know, smile at you and because they feel it. They know, okay, it's okay to say hi to that person. It's okay to give her that compliment. When you walk around with that mad face all the time, nobody gonna come up to you and try to, you know, add value to your life, because it's like you're already seeming unapproachable.
I honestly like people who are already, like, you know, attractive, and then when you talk to them, you realize how nice they are, how positive they are. Like, even if you're not quote unquote attractive or whatever, obviously having that beautiful spirit is such a wonderful thing. But like you said, you know, like if you look unapproachable, it doesn't make me attracted to you, you know, even as a friend or anything. So I feel like that's really important, whether you care about looks or not. I feel like you have to have that energy that's just like, hey, you know, I'm happy, I'm here, you know. And even if you've gone through your shit, like, don't carry that out onto other people. You know, don't let your own negative, like you said, negative cloud, you know, shade over somebody else's sunlight. Like, that's not fair, you know. It's not anybody else's problem, whatever you're going through. So I feel like we need to remember this when we're speaking to other people, because we're going to meet all kinds of people in the world who are way ahead of us or are still trying to get started like us or anything, but we have to constantly push each other, motivate each other, and we're not going to be able to do that if we're just constantly comparing each other or hating on each other.
Yeah, like, I've even seen people who are attractive but just have that ugly spirit, you know, that spirit you're just talking about, and it's like it makes them not attractive anymore. It makes you not want to be around them. Shit, it makes you not even want to tell somebody your life goals, what you're trying to do. I'm gonna say this to you: you cannot tell everybody your next move. People want to walk around. No, keep that shit to yourself. Especially when you got the wrong energy in your circle. You don't need that, because in the day that can set your own growth. And you're not even a hater at that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's the worst. Like, when you don't even realize you have negative people in your circle, like the haters, someone who you think is your friend, and you realize that they're low-key hating on you. Like, watch out for backhanded compliments. Those are the number one telltale sign. Yeah, that someone's hating on you. Like, someone tells you, oh, I like how that skirt looks on you, but it's a little too tight, like in the front or something. It's like, what? Like, are you trying to insult me, or are you trying to compliment me?
Yeah, people do that all the time. It's like their way of trying to disguise it, but it's like it hits you later too. You're like, wait a minute, did she really mean what she said? And that's their way of like trying to put this persona that they being positive. Another one is joy killers or Debbie Downers. Like, you ever tell somebody an accomplishment like, oh, like whatever, I made this, I got a new job, and then they say, oh, that's not the job you wanted though. Like, let me have my motherfucking moment. Like, like watch out for people like that, because people like that, they'll be mad at, the fact that you're even happy, because sometimes we don't even get everything we want. Sometimes it is a setback, but it's like the fact you can still smile through that, and then that'll bother a person too. So you have to watch out for that. Somebody's in your ear speaking like that. Every time you can tell them some good news, they can't even be happy for you. They can't even, or like if you're going through something, they can't even be there for you. They're like smiling while you're mad. I've caught that. I've had people who like, I've told some bad news, and I see them just kind of smiling all of a sudden. It's like, what the fuck you smiling if I just
that should give me chills.
Yeah, and there's people out there like that, so you need to watch out. Watch their face expressions. I'm gonna say that.
No, that's very true. And I feel like the danger of having these haters in your circle is you are getting dragged down with them, and you don't even know it. Like, you're getting stuck into that lifestyle. Like, for example, let's say you have a friend who's always gossiping about somebody else. You ever had a friend who, they never have any good stories to tell you? It's just always, ooh, you want to hear the latest chisme, or like whatever, a joke about somebody in a mean way. And guess what? You end up being that gossiper too, because you're engaging in it, you're listening to it, or you're passing along that insulting joke to somebody else. That's part of the dangers of having a hater in your circle, because you're low-key becoming a hater too.
You slowly, like you said, become them, and it's dangerous and everything too. You got some people who's plotting on you. You got some people that they always had a dream of doing something that you're currently doing. They're just kind of being around you just to learn how to do without saying they just want to learn. And you look up, they pop up with the same shit. They copycatting you. Like, people do that and don't even care. And I feel like that's another thing to be mindful of. And then you got those silent haters who, they honestly are waiting for your downfall the whole time. Or they're waiting to see if you blow up just in case. So they being your friend, just one foot in, one foot out. So it's like, oh yeah, if she does it, I'm gonna come back and be right there with her. If she don't, okay, I'm gonna just diss her ass too. That ain't a loyal friend. That ain't a loyal person to have in your circle. So you have to watch out for that. Especially the backstabbers, people that go behind you for some shady shit. Because to be honest, a lot of the shady shit that happens comes from people that are closest to you.
Ooh, no, that's true. I mean, that's why, we're going to say, like, friends can be haters, family members can be haters, co-workers, acquaintances, strangers, all of that. There's no gender, there's no sexual orientation, there's no ethnic background or race to somebody who can be a hater. It doesn't even matter. Somebody could be wealthier than you. They could have the most, quote unquote, perfect life growing up, and they could still hate on your spirit because, like you said, you're not as rich as them, but you're still able to smile despite the struggles. Like, hater has no face at all. It can be anybody, and sometimes, like you said, it can be the people closest to you, and those are the ones we actually gotta watch out for. It's normal to have like internet haters, who are tough behind a keyboard or whatever, but it's the people right in your face, sleeping right next to you, eating dinner with you. They're the ones that we gotta watch out for.
I feel like it's the worst too when it's somebody that you're in a relationship with. Honestly, because when you're intimate with somebody, your self-esteem is tied to them, all kind of things. Like like it's someone that you're really close with. They know your everyday move and things like that. And I've seen relationships where like one of the partners were jealous of the other, and it allowed the person to like get into the get into the other one's head, stop them, and you most likely you're gonna listen to a loved one when they're in your ear and they give you advice. But sometimes it ain't the best advice. Sometimes it could be advice that could even stop you from doing an opportunity that you always wanted to do.
No, that's very true. Here I go talking about my toxic relationship, right? There she go. But honestly, that I was in that type of relationship. You know, when I was with this person, like I didn't realize all the backhanded compliments he was giving me. You know, I didn't realize that he was actually talking me out of my dreams. Like I remember I was at a point where I was done with my first job out of college, so I had applied to another job. I had gotten it, and then something happened with the hiring process. So, you know, I ended up not getting that job, and I was jobless for about 2 weeks or so. And I ended up finding another job quickly and everything. So that boyfriend that I was with at the time, I remember telling him the entire thing. And then after a while of me being at this current job, he's like, yeah, I remember when you were jobless for like a whole month. That was so hard for you, wasn't it? Like you were building up your debt. I was like, I was only jobless for 2 weeks. It wasn't a month, first of all. And then I had saved up enough money to pay my bills for a whole month in case I was jobless for that long. But I remember at the time, I was just like, oh yeah, you know, like it was hard. But he so badly wanted me to say, yes, it was so hard. Like, you know, I didn't know what I was going to do and everything. I didn't realize he was trying to get me to feed his own fears, his own negative energy. You know, and that's the sad part. Like, yeah, you're with this person. You didn't know that they were doing this to you.
Honestly, I think he was bothered by the fact, yeah, you got through a mini hard struggle and was okay. You know, people will envy that, how you can bounce back, the fact you have a resilient spirit and things like that. Because honestly, if that was to happen to them, it would be the end of the world. But the fact you kept pushing, you didn't give up on yourself, and you found that job and did what you had to do. He still had to like make that a negative scenario versus being like, damn, remember that time this happened to you, but you kept it pushing, you found that job, you deserved it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like we were saying, you know, if you ever have good news and somebody's just trying to find the negative in it, pay attention to that, because that says a lot. Like the people, or I think haters will secretly tell you that they're hating on you, but like in so many words, you know, pay attention more to what they don't say rather than what they do say, because up front they could be all smiles and teeth, you know, but behind it, it's like their tongue is clicking so hard behind those teeth.
Or the worst is when you're giving them some good news and they just change the subject, and it's like you're not gonna really say congrats, nothing like that. And honestly, too, you can't expect yourself out of people in those predicaments, because yeah, a friend of yours or a loved one could give you some good news and you can be all supportive, but when they don't do it back, peep that. And honestly, people take good news different. I'm not saying they always gotta throw a party every time you tell them something, but watch for those things that we just named. If they do that, honestly, I don't think that's somebody you should have in your circle. You know, honestly, there was this guy I used to talk to, and basically he brought his homeboy around, and his homeboy basically, like, you know, me and him was talking, doing, you know, having our conversation, and his homeboy kept trying to talk to me in front of him, and he kept like trying to like floss about his job, you know, and saying he had this, he had that. And then later, you know, I'm talking to the guy I used to talk to, and I was like, you know, what's up with your friend? Like, he kept, you know, coming up over there, you know, he already knew me. He was like, yeah, he always does it. Every time I talk to a girl, he has to come, because I guess the friend had like a real good job. You know, he's like, he always comes and brags about his job, you know, and all this stuff around like whoever I'm talking to. And I said, honestly, that nigga a hater. You know, he's hating on you, and you have to be able, like, you know, it happens in men too. I think when people think haterism, jealousy, they look at, they think of women, like, oh yeah, girls, you know, you see it on TV all the time, girls being catty with each other and things like that, but men, they be the main ones having haters. I mean, you've seen a lot of movies where the dude go shoot his friend, you know, take his girl, things like that. So it's like, in that moment, I had to tell him that. Honestly, he didn't even notice. I think in his mind, he normalized, like, oh, okay, this is what he does. But it's like, sometimes you don't even notice. Sometimes it takes like another friend or somebody on the outside to see, or your mama. Sometimes your own mom be seeing, you be knowing your friends ain't right for you, or your boyfriend, whatever, and listen to them, because I feel like when we're emotionally invested in a person, we do not see, you know, the bad parts of it. We just think, oh yeah, that's just how they act. Oh, I don't know why he does it. But no, it's some real shit. Sometimes it's right in your face. You don't even know it.
That's true, yeah. And I feel like it's hard for you, the friend, the lover, whatever, to be the one to identify that haterism, because it's so under your nose, you know, and like we're so used to justifying people's behaviors that, yeah, we think like, oh, okay, you know, it's not that big of a deal, or they didn't mean it, or, you know, deep down I know they care. Why are we making excuses for haters? At the end of the day, these are people who should not be around us. Like, if you really start living in your purpose, you know, become the person that you want to be, why is this person on that journey with you? They're not going to have your best interest in mind. Like with that guy, he sounds like he would have taken that, you know, like what if you had paid attention to him? it's messy. Haters are very messy. They love the drama. They love being that center of that drama. But, oh, I didn't do anything. I wasn't trying to cause anything. Like, this is how they work, and this is something that is really real and we need to be aware of, because haterism can go a really long way. Y'all seen those Lifetime movies? I'm sorry. These girls and men do a lot of things to each other because of haterism.
That is so true. And haters will do anything to mess up what you got. That's really the purpose of it. They're looking for that downfall. And if it ain't happening on its own, they will do what they can do to make sure it happens. So, and honestly, I think the best way to just deal with haters, like you said, just don't even deal with them. Like, if it's somebody in your family, somebody you love, yeah, maybe you can have that healthy conversation with them, like, and address it, maybe help them through whatever inner issues they're dealing with. Some people don't even know they're acting like that. Honestly, I really believe, like, when you're so deep in your pain and you just don't even know. Sometimes it takes that person to tell them about themselves for them to wake up. But if it's somebody where it's like, this ain't even worth it, you don't have to waste your time. Honestly, I just keep pushing. This Aquarius in me just to shut off and move forward. But it's okay.
No, I agree. I mean, because with haterism, the less it's talked about, the less it's worked on, it's just gonna get worse. And you don't want that type of energy around you, especially if you're genuinely working on yourself, trying to elevate yourself, and just being with you. Like, it's already hard enough to be our own competition, for us to feel like we're in competition with everybody else in our circle, because they make us feel bad or anything, like, why? I don't want people like that in my circle, and this is like, on your own personal development journey, you're gonna feel, or you're gonna realize that a lot more haters come your way, and you're gonna have to learn how to decipher them from the real ones, because if you don't, then you're just gonna end up getting stuck with way more in your circle, more haters than lovers.
And honestly, if you have some hate in your heart and you don't know how to release it, because honestly, we're human, so we have flaws, it happens. Honestly, focus more on being your own competition. All this power comes from within, and me and Jen also recommend reflection. Like I said, if you're around somebody, you start feeling uncomfortable around them, and it's like you feeling some envy spirit rising, sit with yourself and realize, what is it? Like, what's making you want what they have? And honestly, the best thing to do is just admire and use it as inspiration to work on yourself. Because think about it, if I spent time comparing myself to every person I looked up to and like feeling down on myself, some hate's going to be created from that. But instead, if I see somebody, I'm like, oh, I want their lifestyle, or I want her body, her hair, whatever it is, I'm gonna just work on that and do what I have to do. And then if I was to meet them, compliment them about that. I admire you did it. It's actually easier to love than to hate. Hate takes so much work. You're bottling up all these emotions for. I can't even frown. It's hard for me to even make that kind of face. I'm always smiling, but turn them frowns into smiles and realize, what can I do to fix this? And how can I work past this issue? And what is causing this issue? Because once you find out, you will feel much better.
And honestly, it takes a lot more muscles to frown than it does to smile, and frowning causes more wrinkles for those of you who care. But obviously, aside from that, like, it is more important for you to focus on yourself and realize, how can I better me without comparing me to anybody else? I'm not living anybody else's life. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. I don't know what struggles they went through or are still going through to have to get to where they're currently at or want to be. So why would I focus on that life, when I'm leaving my own life behind in the process? Like, I need to embrace my own uniqueness. I need to realize that it's me against me. It's nobody else is going to pick me up, pull me out of bed every day, and place $1 million in my hand and say, here, Jen, you deserved it. No.
I wish.
Right? If that's the case, sign me up. Like, where? But honestly, like, it's true. We need to realize that we're all beautiful in our own way. This is why we all have different personalities, different lifestyles, everything, because it makes us us. Like, what is your story gonna look like at the end of the day? And if you're just realizing that this story just involves you worrying about other people and caring about what they're doing and saying, like, that's not your story. You're just viewing someone else's from the outside, but with some negativity in it, when instead you could have a lot of positivity in your own words about your own faith, your own heart, your own beliefs, everything worrying about you.
Yeah, we all have our own paths, and honestly, the flaws is what makes us beautiful. When you can accept your flaws and embrace them, you can't be stopped because no one can tell you shit at the end of the day because you already know yourself. You already know what you have to offer, what to bring. But when you're comparing your flaws and trying to put that with someone's strength and things like that, guess what? That's done. And honestly, I think it is rap song by Slimmy B. He said, what did he say? He was like, niggas going broke trying to keep up. I mean, right there, like he doing his own thing. Everybody trying to be like him, you know what I mean? And it's like you messing up your own life trying to catch up to his status. Like, you know, same thing, like rock in your own circle, do what you can do, grow, and it'll all be okay from there.
No, that's true. At the end of the day, the only person you need to validate and worry about is you. Like, you are your own competition. You know what you wake up with and go to sleep with every single day. You know, you and I talk about this all the time, actually, but I made a promise to myself that I'm not going to give up on myself. I'm not going to disappoint myself. Like, I'm not done writing my story. You know, I'm not going to disappoint 5-year-old Jen, you know, who had these dreams of becoming this person. So if I spent my time hating on somebody else's story or wishing I was like somebody else, I'm failing 5-year-old Jen. You know, so I recommend you do the same thing. Like, especially if you're not proud of where you came from, or you want to do something different with your life, or, you know, you had a hard family dynamic growing up, or whatever your story is, it doesn't matter where you started. All that matters is where you're going and where you end up. But hating on somebody and being jealous of somebody is not going to get you there.
At the end of the day, your genuine intentions speak for itself. So if you're really working on, like Jen said, your own goals, your own dreams, it's going to fall in place because you ain't making it difficult. You actually make it harder when you spend your time focused. It's like if you're driving and you're looking at the other car the whole time, what are you going to do? Crash into a wall. So you need to stay focused on your own path, your own road, and it's okay for us all to go our own separate ways and to have our own passion, our own voice. We're all meant to do different things in this life. We're all meant to touch different people, you know? So, I don't know, at the end of the day, take that and run with it and grow.
At the end of the day, what's your story? Don't drink the Haterade because that's not going to get you healthy spiritually, mentally, financially, physically, none of that stuff. Okay, we don't need more haters out there. We need more people who are willing to love on each other and to uplift each other, not just for the men, but also for the women, because I know we tend to be in competition with each other, and that shouldn't be the case. You know, a sunflower doesn't ask a rose if it's more beautiful. They just bloom together. So we need to be able to be different kinds of flowers, different kinds of plants, different kinds of people, and embrace each other. Just realize we're all on this planet together.
Exactly. And grow and ascend with the people in your circle. I mean, that's really the key to me and Jen's best friendship. Honestly, we allow ourselves to grow alongside each other, and we embrace each other's strengths and weaknesses, and that we don't compare ourselves. And any relationship, I feel like that's a key point to take with you.
That's absolutely true. So thank you guys for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And then those of you watching us visually, we hope you enjoy this as well. Sorry if I keep readjusting my headphones. They are in the way, but yeah.
And also shout out to So for the cool intro drop. Y'all check her out at @LoveSama. She takes some dope ass photos and she'll get you right if you book her. Don't forget to check out our website at speakupjv.podbean.com. Check us out on Spotify, apparently iHeartRadio, Apple, what else we on? Podbean. And Instagram. And Instagram. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're here now, so we're going to be uploading more on here. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
That's right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.